What's up, bitches, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super exciting video for you guys. I am gonna be showing you behind the scenes of what it's like to work the front desk at an Orangetheory Fitness. There are so many of you that DM me and you ask me, you say, I wanna work there, I know you've worked there, like what's it like? And honestly, I did work there for 8 months, but this was a few years ago, so I thought it would be perfect to head over to one of my favorite studios and see what a current Orangetheory Fitness employee does at a typical shift. So you guys also sent me questions and we are gonna hit those at the end. Today we have Megan, who is going to be our fearless leader and showing us what gets done here behind the scenes. Here's Dean, you might see a little bit of him. What happens?
So walk in the door and I clock in because sales associates were on hourly pay. So we have to make sure that we clock in and clock out when our shifts are done. So log in, clock in, and then I look at the classes for the day. So right here, like you have your specific login, clock in. I'm obviously not clocked in right now.
Right.
Class check-in is probably sales associates' biggest responsibility because coaches are paid based on how many people are in the class. So by me checking the boxes or not checking the boxes is gonna affect their pay. So I take this part very seriously. You know, like when people come in, they'll come to the front desk, they check in, they give us their name. That's when I check the box. Or we also have this cute little tablet where it has all of the batteries left. That's because we've been using it all day long.
Yeah.
The tablet makes it easier because it's like we get behind the desk, physically make eye contact, check them in, and that's when like the boxes are checked. Typical class, you check it in, class starts, and then you go back, and if then there's anybody who has an owed class, like if they're an elite member and they've used up all their sessions, you have to then charge them or find out why they're coming up as owed. So either have to charge them, or if they're across regional, find out what their membership is in the other home studio. So like your home studio is Devon, so when you come here, you're considered across regional.
Every single day you gotta do that for me when I come here?
Well, you're a premier member, so your classes are unlimited, but
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll show you what a late cancel box. So this class is already checked in, but when someone late cancels, we see this box checked here.
Gotcha.
So this means either the individual went on their app and they late canceled on their app, or they called us and said they weren't coming or they didn't show up. So that's when we would check the late cancel box. And then for the premier members, $12, you guys already know that. And then basic and elite members or package holders, we just dock a session. So another big responsibility for sales associates is getting people to come in for their first class. And you guys know if you're a local resident of whatever studio and you've never taken a class before, your first class is free. So that's our responsibility to reach out to these people via phone, text, or email to get them to come in and schedule, or to schedule on the phone. So these people will send in their information, we collect their information, create a profile, and contact them.
Guys, when I worked at an Orangetheory, they were really strict about the calls. Like we had to make like X amount of calls a week. So every studio is ran differently. So even the things that you're hearing in this video might not be entirely the same thing going on at your studio, or if you were to work at an Orangetheory Fitness, things might be a little different.
We have basic cleaning responsibilities, and of course, if you go to any Orangetheory, they're known for their cleanliness. So that's, again, another one of our responsibilities. Once the class gets checked in, the class is going, the computer's all done, checked in, then sales associates should walk around the lobby, the bathrooms, the showers, to make sure that everything is spick and span.
Yeah, and I've honestly, personally, never been in an Orangetheory that looked like dirty or trashy or anything. Like, you guys see these, you know, black carpets. They are black and they don't have crap on them for a reason, because when you're a sales associate, like, it's your job to help keep the floor looking nice. So if it's fall and there's a ton of leaves coming in, you're probably gonna be vacuuming a lot more. Same with winter when there's the salt that people are trucking in. By the way, if you guys are taking an Orangetheory Fitness class in the winter, wear a second pair of shoes because
Yes, please!
it ruins the treadmill. It's terrible for the floor. The salt that gets on your shoes, the salt that they put on the ground to, you know, stop you from slipping, it is absolutely terrible for your studio. So please show some respect and bring a second pair of shoes. But yeah, so when, depending on what the season is, I'm sure it requires maybe a little bit more attention as far as the cleaning goes, but to keep it spick and span while there's classes going on all day, you need to do some touch-ups here or there. So it's not a huge part of the job, but I do remember it being a little bit of the part of the job. So, okay guys, so you know how when you come to the studio, you can borrow or rent a heart rate monitor, okay? The straps and all that stuff.
We got straps down here.
Straps down there, okay.
So the big straps goes in here, and then we clean them at the end of the day with a, at least this studio is with a hospital grade disinfectant.
That's awesome.
So we spray the hospital grade stuff, we, you know, wash them with hot soapy water, and then we let them air dry. For the pods, they, you know, we'll separate them, put the pods in here. Some studios are different. Oh, there's some
There's a dirty pod in here. She's not even on the clock and she's gonna clean them. Take note of this, Jim.
That's active. So we clean these with just something that's like not abrasive, just a baby wipe. We make sure to clean the top, obviously the back where is touching the member's body, and then I just put my fingernail in the little grooves here.
She really gets in there. Nice.
And clean it. And that's how we clean the pods. Sometimes if I'm feeling like really cleanliness, I'll open the strap back here and just wipe that off.
Oh, okay.
And then that's it for this one.
Oh, let's talk about this. Running the OTB screen.
yes.
So guys, if you didn't know, the screen that shows your heart rate monitor and your charts over there is actually ran from behind the front desk. And
Yes.
they have the power to stop it and start it.
Basically start the class on time. So this is like what the class looks like when it's done. So like when you see your summaries up on the OTB board, this is what the computer looks like. Each day you have to close out the class screen before starting a new one. So for example, the 3:30 class today, this is what it'll look like. You hit start class check-in. So this is when like the Bluetooth is activated, all the monitors that are turned on, or all the straps that are like connected to both of the core straps. The Bluetooth starts to look, their name pops on the OTB screen. And then once the coach says the lobby intro and says, you know, like, come on in, let's get this workout started, whatever, that's when us as sales associates have to press start class. Because both by us starting the class will affect the time on the template.
Right, right.
So it's also for the coach to make sure that he or she is staying on time.
Yes.
So like if you're 2 or 3 minutes behind starting it, the coach, you know, as a personal coach, it's like,
Messes.
why am I behind time? I started it at 12 o'clock or I started it at 3:30. Why am I behind? So it's all teamwork process. This is to jump the core monitors. So like if you see your name on the OTB screen, it's black, it's 0%. Sometimes some monitors need a little jump to like find your heart rate.
I have to use it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not a 110% expert on like the technology, why it works, but
I think it sends like a bolt of electricity or something.
sounds about right. Yeah. So you just connect it like this. You turn it on. I'm not actually gonna turn it on, but
Yeah.
you turn it on and then it'll just jump and it should, you know, make your monitor work.
So guys, if your heart rate monitor is at 0 and you're unable to get it up, just say to someone at the front desk, hey, can you jumpstart this? And they can actually do this little jumpstart thing at any point during the class, like
Correct.
not just before the class.
Couple points about that though. So sometimes we've been seeing like when it jumps, when you do have to jump a core monitor, sometimes later on in the class, the core monitor freezes. So this is like a last minute resort kind of thing. We would prefer that you work through the warm up the first 5 minutes for your heart rate to actually get up there, because sometimes your resting heart rate isn't powerful enough for the Bluetooth to pick it up.
Okay.
8 times out of 10, after the warm-up, your monitor's working fine. For someone that has never been to our studio before, whether they're a cross-regional or an intro, they do have to fill out client intake forms.
Oh, okay.
So we have them down here. This is other than giving all of your personal information, giving your fitness goals, what are you currently doing for fitness, it's also our liability and every other studio's liability. So this is, you know, basically they're signing this form saying that they're going to use our equipment safely, and if, God forbid, anything were to happen,
We got it on paper that they
Yeah.
signed their life away.
So
Oh yeah.
they
Oh
can't-
yeah. Another responsibility is, you know, every time I walk in, Meg is so energized. She's always saying hello. She's calling everyone by name. So something that you need to do as a, you know, desk worker, sales associate here at Orangetheory is you need to take the time to kind of memorize members' names to faces. So when Nancy comes in, you say, hey Nancy, what's up girl? Hey Sally, Sue, Jenny, Joe, Jimmy.
keep it going.
Yeah, now I'm just listing all the names. But yeah, so you want to memorize the names and you want to be like really hospitable, because if someone walks in and they're like all ready to take Orangetheory and then you're just there like, you know, like that would really kill the vibe. So that's another thing. If this is a job you're interested in, you gotta have the energy, and she definitely has the energy. Any time of the day, she's calling you by name. She
Listen.
knows all the members,
Emily, or should I say Fitty Freckles?
whichever one you want
Okay,
to call
so
me.
Emily Fitty Freckles is right in saying that it's very important to know people's names. It also adds to the fact that Orangetheory, regardless of where you are, it's a community. And people are gonna be happy to see you, excited to see you, and excited that you're gonna achieve the afterburn effect. So it's not only like friendly, excited, but you're trying to build relationships with these people that are coming in consistently. And it also helps with customer or member retention.
Yeah.
If you're constantly coming in and saying, "What's up, Nancy? How was Christmas?" Or like, "How was Thanksgiving?" And that's how you build those relationships. So
yes.
just to add on.
And Meg, you are newly a coach, aren't you?
I am.
Aren't you?
Very
Right? Very excited for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go Meg, go Meg, go Meg. She's a coach now. She's a coach now. She's a coach now. So Meg has become a Orangetheory Fitness certified coach. Am I right?
Hey!
Dean, is there anything you want to add about being a, sales associate here at Orangetheory? I know you're kind of new,
I'm fairly new, so I'm learning as I go.
but you've been a member now for almost
have.
3 years, right?
2 years, yeah. I mean, the reason I kind of came to work here was because I love to work out, and I thought, hey, why not come and work for something that I love? And I've loved it for a while now, so.
That's awesome.
And I get to work with great people like Meg. So
Yes.
It makes it easy.
Yes, awesome.
She gets
Well,
on my
thanks-
nerves, but once in a while she's
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
likewise.
Yeah, well that's awesome. Yeah, so that's an example of somebody who was just a member and then they just took it to the next level because they bleed orange.
Bleed it.
Should we slice him and see if he bleeds? Okay, so guys, I had you send in some questions on Instagram for me to ask Megan, but since I'm also a former Orangetheory employee, like I will never let that go. Best 8 months of my life. I'm gonna answer some of these questions too, as my opinion as a past employee, and she will answer them as her point of view as a current employee. Do you have to work 3 days a week? When I worked at an Orangetheory, I actually only did work 3 days a week, but I know people that only work 1 day a week.
I work full time, so I work 5 days a week. Sometimes 6, sometimes 7 if like we need to pick up shifts here or there. So it's all what your availability is.
Yeah, since it's hourly, can you go over that 40-hour mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Some studios do overtime pay, but again, that's all based on the owners and
How long are the shifts?
depends on if you're a full-time or a part-time worker. As a full-time worker, it'll be at least 7-8 hours. If you're part-time, 4 or 5.
Yeah, when I did it, I was just part-time, and it was pretty much based around my availability. I did Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I worked pretty much from 4 to close on Fridays, and then I worked the entire shifts on Saturdays and Sundays. If not, I came in maybe an hour or two later than the person who started on Saturday and Sunday. Do they commission? All right, so at my studio that I worked at, we got commission purely based on our own personal sales. So it was if I sold Sally that premier membership, I'm getting the entire chunk in my paycheck that month of the commission. Here, do you guys get personal commission, or is it
It's group here. So I'm not in charge of the commission, so I don't know how they do it based on that. Everything is pooled based on the amount of hours you work, whether you're part-time or full-time. That's when it's divvied out that way. Just to throw in my opinion real quick.
Yes, throw it in.
And again, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I think every Orangetheory should group commission because
People were cutting throat. They were
Yes.
yes, let me tell you.
I've worked at studios where it's been both, and I just feel like I've said before in the video, Orangetheory is a community, not individual employees.
Yes.
So when it's group commission, it's not push Emily out of the way because I got to get this intro coming in.
Exactly.
It's, hey, if you want to take the intro, I'll take the next one.
Right.
Or what, you work things out.
Yes.
Regardless, we're both getting paid for the join.
Yes, when I worked at an Orangetheory, it was actually based on however many green stars we would call them. That would be new people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It would be divvied out. People would be I'm taking Sally, I'm taking Sue, I'm taking this one. And then the other thing is we would, if somebody took a class and they said they were gonna sign up but they wanted to think about it, we would still fill out the entire form and sign our own initials. So that way if that person came back to sign up, we would still get the sale even while we weren't there.
Yes, and I've been in situations. I'm trying to think if I shouldn't say this or not.
You
know what? No, I am.
Say it.
Honestly,
Tell the truth.
the people that are working at Orangetheory with individual commissions, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
If Emily did the intro process, give it to Emily. She did the whole work.
And you want to know something? I'm not trying to toot my own horn about being a good Samaritan or anything, but if somebody called and they're like, hey, I took class the other day and I decided that I want to sign up, I always would ask and I'd say, okay, do you remember who was talking with you to sign up? That's how commission goes. It's definitely based on studio to studio. Do you think any studios don't do commission?
No. Oh, no. Well, actually, I don't know.
We don't know. Comment down below.
I would think.
If you know.
I would hope.
I would hope they all do.
Everyone does.
Are you required to sell a certain number of memberships? When I worked at a studio, we had a whole legit sales thing where it was you were supposed to get all these numbers per week based on how many hours you worked. But if people do not want to sign up, I am not gonna force them to sign up. You know what I mean?
We don't do that here. Again, we're like group commission, so it's not like Megan hit 15 members this month or whatever. But I have been in studios where it's been like, you have to hit this number. And it's not more so like, if you don't hit this number, you're fired. It's if you don't hit this number, how can we better train you to close on these intros? Or like, how can we tailor your closing process or closing techniques?
That was probably my problem. I probably needed some training on how to close. I would get so nervous. Now I feel like, you know, put me to the test, I'll sell a membership to anybody. Like, that's how I feel now.
Yeah, same.
But when I first started working there, it's hard, especially when you're a kid. I was literally just a kid. No, I remember I was 20. When I started, it was really hard when it was like, you know, somebody that like was like a parent or a teacher type person to me. And I was this little kid trying to force this super expensive membership onto them.
That's a big thing.
So now though, I feel like I have enough confidence to like explain as to why you should sign up. But when I started out, it definitely was a struggle for me. So if you are starting out and you're struggling with that, just try to break past that and just really find in your own heart why you love the workout so much, and then it will just come through you naturally when you're trying to sell to someone.
The emotional connection is probably the biggest thing that you can make. If you can explain to a member why you love it and why they're gonna eventually love it, you'll close them.
Exactly. So now another question we have is, what is the pay / the perks? So the pay actually varies from studio to studio, and you can actually start at a rate, and then depending on your studio, maybe every couple of months or you know, every year or something, you get more money. Every quarter, you get more money. So that depends on where you're working. And then as far as perks go, when I worked there, you could take classes unlimitedly, but the only thing was you could not book yourself into like a class. So for me, I lived across the street from my Orangetheory, so not everyone was in the 5 a.m. classes back in the day. Now they're all filled up, but I would always go take the 5 a.m. class and just slide right in.
Same thing. You can take class. If you're taking class more than you're working,
that's what I was doing.
That's kind of like.
But I didn't do it on purpose. It was just. It just.
I mean, it varies from studio to studio. It varies.
Are you not allowed to do that here?
I kind of feel like it's common sense. Like if you're just taking advantage of.
I wasn't taking advantage.
No, I'm not calling you out.
Okay. I could only work 3 days a week. I was in college,
no, you good.
But then I did live across the street from it, so I would just go take the class, like.
Yeah. You can never schedule yourself in front of a member.
Right.
That's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah. So the perks, but then also the perks is like, okay, let's talk about this. You get to wear athletic clothing all day.
Yes.
You're kind of on your feet. You're moving around. You're interacting with people. You're not sitting at a desk like I do. But yeah, you're interacting with people. You know, you get to have the freedom of walking around during the day. I mean, I don't know. So those are some of the perks. And then on top of it, I've never met an Orangetheory Fitness studio community that like wasn't a great environment to be in. Like you get to work with really fun people. Like these are fun, active, fit people, because the type of people that want to sit at a desk and like not interact with people probably wouldn't be working at this job. A couple of people have asked the same question. How do they learn everyone's name? How do you remember everyone's name? What's your tip on that? Because I only worked 3 days a week, so it was a little bit hard for me to memorize names other than the people that were, you know, Sally's always taken. 10 a.m. on a Saturday. There she is. Like I remembered her name, you know what I mean? But what about for you? How do you...
So the biggest thing, people consistently, like when they're coming again, like Sally coming at 10 a.m., that's easy. The other thing, like when I don't know somebody, I'll personally introduce myself and say, oh, I've never met you before. Like, hi, Jeff, my name is Meg or whatever. And then it's like, if they're across regional or whatever, I'll say, where are you coming from? And then it's like, Jeff is coming from Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida, Jeff.
You just gotta remember it. Yeah. Also though, I must admit, when I worked at a studio, we did get pictures of people and put it next to their profile. So if there was somebody in the room that I'm like, okay, who is that guy over there? I would like scroll through and click on the names of people that I clearly like wasn't sure of, and then it would pop up and I'd see the picture and I'd be like, hey Joe, how you doing? Like, you know, acting as if I knew. But that's a little hack. And one thing as a sales associate that you can kind of help yourself is when a new person does come in, take the extra effort to say, hey, excuse me, can I take your picture really quick? Because it's helping you. Like, it's not just a part of the job, but it's like for your own help that like when you can't remember, you can call on those pictures.
Or also just have a conversation with somebody.
Yes,
like,
that too.
If they come 20 minutes early, as a lot of people do to pick the station they like talk to them. Find out what their fitness goals are, find out why they've chosen OTF, find out when they started. Just like just basic questions, but those questions, you can make connections with their name.
Yeah. Okay, okay, so I don't know if every studio does this, but someone asked, how do you choose the Spotlight Member of the Month? Do you guys do that at all? Some studios will post on Instagram. Honestly, I think it's favoritism. I'm gonna say that right now because I never got picked to be a Spotlight person, and I don't even understand that. So this studio doesn't really do it, but the studios that haven't called on me, I'm adding you right now. So it's probably just favoritism. They don't do it here. What do you do to pass the time? Well,
There's always something to do.
There's always something to do. I mean,
never passing the time.
Right. Like I remember when I was working the front desk, if I wasn't doing the basic tasks that Megan went over, the daily tasks, I was scanning things, I was taking inventory. Like this is a business. There is always something to be done while you're here. So, you know, some people work a desk job maybe at like a tanning salon or like a, you know, a hair salon, and it's a little bit different, and you might have the time to, like, you know, you need to pass the time and things like that. But like, you know, it's not like that. There's so much responsibility that does go behind. Even what we did show you, there are things that we've left out, that it's just, you know, whatever you're called on. I mean, literally down to like, who do you think takes that sign in and out? Who do you think does that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who do you think decorated this place? The holidays, they're always doing events, things like that. And a lot of times it's the sales associates that are putting those events together, you know, making these themes and posting on social media. So there is not really any, you know, passing the time. It's, you're working.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Sorry if that was harsh, but.
No, oh no, we were just keeping it real. Okay, do people try to get out of paying late cancel fees? What's the crazy excuse they've ever given? Yes, people do all the time. People used to call and like claim that, like, well, listen, I don't know if it was a claim or not. Maybe it was real.
You can never
so you never know. But I mean, it
all the time.
All the time. I mean, everybody. I mean, like, listen, nobody wants to get charged $12, so they're gonna be pulling out all the stops. But when it puts you in a tough spot, especially if it's Sally Joe and she's coming every Saturday at 10 a.m. but Sally didn't show up. Like, I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta charge them, right?
I mean, it's unfortunate. It is a corporate policy, so we're franchise owned, but we're following corporate policies.
Right. So it's kind of out of our hands, regardless of, like, even when I've missed class, like me, Fitty Freckles, like, you know what I mean? No, you know, I'm just a regular person. No, I'm a regular person. No, they charge me. They charge the shit out of me. No, they charge me.
I have charged her
She's
before.
charged me, and you know, it's just no hard feelings. We're still friends. You know, we're still hanging out.
Like,
you owe me $12.
I'll buy you a coffee.
No, but
a very expensive coffee.
So I'm sure people have called and they're like, somebody's in the hospital. I totaled my car, like things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, bring the hospital band. Show me a picture of the car. No, I'm just kidding. To get out of it. No, you know.
I would honestly, no, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't take it that far. But oh, here's the question: do you get free gear? I didn't when I worked there. I got one free shirt, but I know some studios, like I see it.
Allentown gets a lot of free stuff, but they're like required to wear OTF stuff as a uniform.
Okay.
For us, we're just supposed to, like, we really are supposed to wear OTF gear, but if for part-time workers they can't really afford gear, athletic clothing.
Yeah, athletic basic black clothing. You don't want to put, like, you know.
This is OTF.
Yes,
gear,
by the way, look at this outfit. Guys, they're really stepping up their gear. Orangetheory is.
Agreed.
Sorry. What did I just do there?
No,
my bad. Okay. Was it ever awkward putting in your 2 weeks but still working out thereafter? So no, because didn't you used to work at another Orangetheory?
Yes.
So
I gave my 2 weeks at Allentown. I still go back there and work out. Like, I'm best friends with everybody. So it's how you go about doing it that affects your end relationship.
And for me, when I got hired, I literally told them, once lacrosse season starts in 8 months, I will no longer be able to do this job. So they knew I was only going to be there for 8 months. They were counting down the day. No, I'm just kidding. They knew that, like,
they circled the day
on the calendar. That would be my last day there. No, they knew ahead of time going into it. And so if you are going to do this as a temporary job, why not just give the heads up, you know?
Yes. And I would also say that, like, it may affect you being hired, but it's better than being hired and then 8 months or 6 months or however long you're there saying, yeah, this was my plan all along.
Yeah, like, no, then
I didn't tell you.
Then it might be a little awkward to go back there. But if you just, like, keep it 100, that's the rule. Nothing's ever awkward if you're keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Agreed. So what's the most annoying thing a customer can do? Probably stop working out and throw a fit that their heart rate monitor's not working. But, you know,
It happens
though. And listen, the thing is like, I used to be, no, I didn't throw a fit, but it's like, in those moments, I remind myself, like, okay, I'm like, the heart rate monitor actually doesn't matter. Like, if you actually do the workout, that's all that matters. Right now, me wasting time standing here at the front desk for 5 minutes is not going to help my workout. So, if your heart rate monitor doesn't work, just run it out to the front desk, let them work on it while you run back in there, and they'll bring it to you, right?
Or even, yes, that. But if it's like, you've already done that, it's still not working, just get through the workout. After class, say, this is what happened, your troubleshooting didn't work, and then we can add more troubleshooting steps, or we can, the next class, the next time you're in, we can spend 5 minutes before class helping you and getting it that way.
And then aside from that, for me, my one last thing I want to add is just like when I was working there, just like, you know, people just can be very demanding, and it's like, you know, when I go to the front desk, I, you know, remain calm, and I like wait my turn. Like, I wait in line. Some people like pretend like there's no line, and they just like are like, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? And it's hard because you if you're already helping somebody, you need to tell them, you know, yeah, 1 second, let me just finish helping up Sally, and then I'll get to you, you know? What is the best and worst thing about working there? Best thing about working there was definitely the free classes, and I just liked the environment. You know, it would be nice if this was like a salary job. You can make like $60,000 a year doing this.
Best thing for me, I like that it's a community, that I'm so close with my managers and coworkers and members that come in, and also that there's so much growth. Like, this isn't just a job. Like, there's a corporate office, there's management positions, there's coaching positions. So there's so much growth in one single company, and since I love this company, it's like I can go somewhere with this.
Yeah, like they have jobs even like I've seen like, you know, like marketing director and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
If I didn't work here, I would not be able to afford.
I work just to afford this membership. What's the worst thing you would say?
Honestly, that's probably the hardest question, because she
loves this job. Like, this is why I picked her to do this. Like,
yeah.
She loves this job.
Honestly, I would say, so we don't technically get a break where we like clock out and go get food or like whatever. So we just kind of like eat whenever, and the eating whenever part sometimes gets annoying because members come out and you're having like a tuna sandwich. And then it smells like tuna in here.
Yeah.
But
that's
honestly, it's like something that you just like brush under the carpet.
Right. Did you ever give founder rates to old members or discounts? No, that's illegal.
Founder rates are when studios open.
Yeah.
So unless it's like a corporate thing that is rolled out, we can't just like type it in the computer and make it happen.
Yeah, like there's rules with when you have a franchise, there's rules that you gotta follow, and like one of those is like, if they say something costs something, it costs something. Yes. Is it flexible enough of a job to have as a student? Yes, it is. I think it's great. I did it as a student. Totally recommend this for students.
Absolutely.
Do you get discounts on memberships? The only discounts that we can give are ones that are run like as a special, and the specials are already like rolled out for the year by corporate. Like next year for 2020, all the specials are out already. I know that because I know somebody.
Okay.
I know a person. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I know a secret, but I'm not gonna say it. How do you get hired? Well, you can apply online, or you can even go to your Orangetheory Fitness.
Go into the studio.
Yes.
Hand your resume into the studio manager or the assistant manager and shake their hand. That will 110% increase your chances of getting hired.
Yes. Or even if they're not hiring, that's how I got a job. I didn't even know they were hiring. I just stuck my head in and I was like, what is this place? What is this? What's going on here?
Here we are.
Here we are. I fell in love. Okay. Oh, this is a good one, actually.
Yes.
Can they see when I join 3,000 waitlist and then cancel so I can book into the earliest one? Yes, they can see it. Isn't that also like not really allowed? Aren't you not supposed to book yourself onto a waitlist, more than one waitlist per day?
I mean, actually, I don't know what the corporate policy is.
I don't know. You're not allowed to do that. We just heard that from a manager in the back. You are not allowed to book yourself onto multiple wait lists in one day. Did you get a lot of rude attitude from people when they didn't get their way?
I would say this is based on studio location.
Yeah, studio location for sure. Definitely.
And it's something where it's like...
But yeah, you know, listen, life is life. Everybody can be rude.
You could have a bad day and be rude, and that's not your typical personality, and it's cool.
Exactly. That was a really good thought that just happened. Is it full-time? Do you work out there for free? Yes, it can be a full-time job, and yes, you can work out there for free. Would you recommend it as a part-time gig for a full-time nurse? Maybe if you maybe if you worked like 2 days a week there, if your studio is hiring for that type of slot.
Yeah.
Some studios like to keep a smaller staff that works a lot more hours, and then you see some studios that have a lot of people on staff that just work a couple days. Yeah. So once again, it depends on your studio, and I would just be honest with them. I'm a full-time nurse. What's the deal? Can I get this part-time?
And even if you just open up and say, I'm just looking for a few hours.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it real.
What are the qualifications to work as a sales associate here at Orangetheory? Should we bring the manager out for this? Do you want to answer this? Oh, here she comes.
Special guest
Rachel! Rachel, can you tell us some of the qualifications in order to be a sales associate here at Orangetheory?
Yeah, you just have to be very personable.
You just have to be alive.
Be into fitness.
Have a heartbeat.
Really genuinely care about making other people's lives better.
But, okay, and then was it hard to get hired?
Depends on your personality too. Like, if you're not selling it, they're not gonna buy it.
Yeah, but also like you just want to present yourself as a trainable person, somebody that's willing to learn and can, retain information. And if you want it, they'll help you make it happen. You know what I mean? And do you need sales experience? You don't need sales experience. I didn't have any. But once again, it could vary from studio to studio.
Yeah.
Maybe a studio wants sales experience, maybe they don't. But yeah, those are just things that you would just have to find out based on the studio that you're looking to work at. Okay, guys, that is literally all the questions you sent in. We want to say thank you to everyone who did send those questions in. If you guys do have any other questions, comment them down below and I'll try to get back to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to Megan for being our guinea pig.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and shout out to OTF Paoli. Awesome studio, guys. If you're ever in the Philadelphia area, you gotta check it out. But other than that, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another Fitty Freckles video again. Follow me on Instagram and I will see you in my next video.
Bye!
Yes! And that's a wrap! That's a wrap! Hey, break it down, dude! Break it down, dude! Break it down, dude! Break it down!